Hi, my name is Mark Choff, and this vlog is about display advertising. It's an ongoing series about making sense of an ever-changing online display advertising. And this particular post is about Canadian traffic. I'm in Vancouver, Canada right now. So it's called Canadian Traffic, Valueless in 2016, and you can see this on massmediamarketing.ca under vlog. So, to begin, web traffic, Canadian web traffic can be devalued on the world market. It ranks almost close to Australian traffic. So the CPM value of Canadian traffic and ad space. So especially the market value of the programmatic marketplace, Canadian traffic seems to me to be quite devalued. Canadian eyeballs just aren't that valuable compared to US, UK, Germany. But also I find that with the publishers I work with and the partners that I onboard, a large percentage of the top 4 geos are Canadian traffic is in there too that can be monetized. Yet on the world market or programmatic marketplace, there's not a lot of demand for Canadian traffic. So it goes largely unmonetized. Demand for the US, the UK traffic, web traffic, or eyeballs is auto demand and constant. So why is this happening? Because we find that you pay a premium when you're inside Canada for the same Canadian traffic on direct deals or direct buys. So here's some reasons. So there's fewer Canadian consumers, and they're geographically spread throughout Canada. It's a very large country. So you can have a lot of the traffic in a DMA like the Toronto or Toronto corridor, or let's say Quebec. But besides these two corridors, there's not a lot of people to target to. So, and to complicate it too, these larger publishers can't necessarily, they have limitations. They can't target specifically to Canadian cities, and that makes it also very difficult to monetize too. And the top tier 1 Canadian publishers, their inventory is already wrapped up and commoditized by larger Canadian networks like it is on a global scale from country to country. Also, it works to Canadians' advantage a lot of the time to be located close to the US. At the same time, our proximity to the US, we just get lumped in to a big buy. If there's some Canadian eyeballs in there too, well, we'll pay for it too, but nothing very direct. So the geography, the disparity in the proximity of the US market may be one factor for the lower value of Canadian traffic in display advertising. The US market, as I mentioned, is the strongest, the most valuable traffic in the world. So advertisers pay a premium for that, and even if it's cross-border traffic, for example, a site that has US traffic as the second geo and perhaps the number 1 is UK, that site is going to do very well on the programmatic marketplace, and people like me are definitely going to approach them. So yes, Canadian traffic is going unmonetized. Canadian traffic cross-border with cross-border publishers, maybe it works like this. They have US traffic, they have UK traffic, they have millions of monthly visitors, maybe 10 million monthly visits, and of that the top 2 are the US, the UK, and then maybe Germany, and then we have the Canadians in there. Well, the first 3 geos go monetized at a premium, and the CA, or the Canadian traffic, goes to a remnant partner and is almost an afterthought. Yet, something to think about. That same CA traffic on a Canadian site is valued twice as much from demand and buyers within Canada. So if you're paying or you're buying publisher ad space from within Canada, you're going to be spending more money on that ad space than if you were programmatically. Something to think about there. And I think finally, to conclude this blog post about Canadian traffic, the valueless country in 2016, I find that a lot of publishers that I speak to in Canada really do not understand programmatic. They understand programmatic and how it relates to buying and bidding, but when it comes to monetizing their inventory, they seem to be, rightfully so from their position, stuck very much with a lot of still direct buys, and they don't understand programmatic, or they do to the extent where they think it's just for remnant inventory. And then perhaps partners like Just Premium approach them with rich media ad formats that can be bought programmatically on a global scale, which advertisers love and pay a premium. And they don't quite understand that, and they have to really be engaged and understand what it means and the value to them. The ad stack itself is made up of remnant partners and rich media bought on the programmatic ad space is very valuable to advertisers and very effective for some of the reasons I mentioned before. And publishers, it can be an incremental revenue stream. So there is an education that I'm finding has to be done here in Canada when it comes to programmatic and buying programmatic. Well, thanks for watching. If you made it through the entire video, I really appreciate it. These are informal talks about display advertising, making sense of an ever-changing online advertising industry. This is my last video from here in the downtown east side of Vancouver, a very unique place, and thanks for watching.